Hello and welcome to my channel GreenLion Goddess Tarot. Today we're going to talk about the Sagittarius full moon, and this is one of the luckiest and most benefic full moons that are coming our way, and that is because the ruler of the full moon, Jupiter, is conjunct this full moon, and also at the same time Jupiter is conjunct Venus, the other benefic planet. Both of them are at 29 degrees of Taurus, which is an anaretic number. It's a very, very powerful degree point, which represents powerful endings, especially on the material realm. If we're thinking about the element of earth, the sign of Taurus, the very significant thing that's happening with this as well is because it is making an exact sextile to Neptune in Pisces at 29 degrees of Pisces. And this is an incredibly powerful Neptune because Neptune rules Pisces, and 29 degrees is the final ending, the final powerful number. And it's such a powerful energy. This is something to be celebrated, Neptune at 29 degrees of Pisces, because even though this is an energy we're going to be dealing with at various times over the next year, it's something to be truly celebrated. Once it moves from that degree, it will never go back. We'll never experience this in our lifetime. And this is probably Neptune at its most powerful. So it really is a beautiful energy because Neptune represents imagination, spirituality, ascension. So what I'm getting with this is a lot of past life energy with this full moon. As you know, full moons are culmination energies. So it's a sense that there's a lot of cycles ending, Akashic record cycles, soul growth lesson cycles that are finishing and completing. And so we've learned what we need to learn, or if we haven't, it doesn't matter. Perfection doesn't exist. It just is ending and we're moving on to the next thing. And so the Jupiter-Venus conjunction is the freeing of that, the benefic expansion that occurs after we finally let that go. And so what I'm getting is that the body holds the score. A lot of those things that have happened in the past, we have held a lot of the energy, especially the lower vibrational energy like shame, guilt, fear. Pluto's also playing a major part in this full moon as well, making some really positive aspects. But this brings up fear to be released as well. So these lower vibrational energies of fear, anger, resentment, guilt, shame, whatever it is, can be coming up to be finally released. And it's saying I'm seeing them dissipating and releasing and dissolving like a dark energy lifting up from us, because it's like energetically we do not need this in our system anymore. So this is a really great time to be going to any kind of practitioner who can help you physically release this energy from your body, because it is in the element of earth. But it doesn't have to necessarily be a health thing or a body thing or something that we've held on to energetically within the body. It could be anything within the material realm. It might be a sense of a blessing goodbye. It's a beautiful blessed goodbye. So it may be that you're saying goodbye to a home, or you're saying goodbye to an energy around the home. Maybe you're throwing some things out. Maybe you're moving. Maybe you're shifting and changing something very significantly when it comes to money and career. But with these two beautiful benefic energies, it's a celebration. They want to bring a celebration and an expansion coming through with this. So there's a deep reverence the days moving into this full moon. As you know, full moons can occur. We can feel them, the effects of them 3 to 5 days before and 3 to 5 days after. So this full moon's happening on the 23rd at 2 degrees of Gemini and 2 degrees of Sagittarius. So the moon is at 2 degrees of Sagittarius and the sun is at 2 degrees of Gemini. And so it is this beautiful energy of culmination, a final illumination. And the energy moving into the full moon, as I was mentioning, is one of reverence, one of finally saying goodbye and letting something go, surrendering to make way for the new. And then afterwards, there's this embrace. They're quite literally showing me us with open arms, embracing the new, embracing the expansion, because the sun is in Gemini, both Venus moves into Gemini, and Jupiter significantly will be changing sign, because this happens It's a less of a common occurrence or event for Jupiter to be changing signs. So Jupiter moves into the air sign of Gemini. And so this is the expansion in the element of air, which is coming in, which is opening our minds to new learnings, new understandings, new soul growth lessons. And a lot of it's to do with opening up to learning, listening, understanding, talking, changes of subjects. What are we wanting to talk about? Interesting topics that you might not be normally thinking about or discussing, but suddenly that's coming through. Perhaps you are communicating or meeting people that are opening you up to these new experiences, but definitely feels like it's this sense of opening your reach and opening up to this new expansion, which feels really beautiful, like a beautiful blessing. And yeah, there could be some lucky things that come through with this as well, which is really lovely. And there's also this sense they're bringing me to Neptune in Pisces again, because this Pisces axis, Pisces and Virgo being the opposite sign, not so much Virgo, but the Pisces energy wants to serve. It wants to be of service. And sometimes this is through sacrifice, and sometimes it is through overly sacrificing yourself to be of service to others, which when we transcend into a beautiful oneness and realize we are all one, it doesn't matter. It's all just part of it. We all become one. But the message I'm also getting is for light workers or people who work very strongly with the light, to be open to receive. That's what Jupiter, the message of Jupiter and Venus conjunct is saying. Open to receive. Open to receive what you need as well. Don't cut that off. Be open to receive that. So that is the beautiful energy of this full moon in Jupiter. It really is a very lovely energy, and that is a lovely way to work with this. As I mentioned, some of these lower vibrations are wanting to come up to be released because the soul growth cycles and lessons and Akashic records, they've all finished, and it's about letting go of judgment around that as well. And it may feel like, oh, it hasn't fully completed yet, but also this sense of it doesn't really matter because it's time for that to go. I feel like that was what I needed, and now it's time for it to move on, which is really lovely. But there's also this beautiful sense that it wants to bring us blessings, this full moon. It really is a lovely full moon. And if any of those feelings come up in terms of the fear response or some of those lower vibrational energies that Pluto may be stirring up but wanting to help you release and transform in a positive way so that you can shine more light and you can have more energy and feel like a part of you is ready to shine again, which is really lovely. They're just saying to let those energies, observe them, let them come up, but understand that they're coming up to be released and to be dissolved. So that is the messages of the beautiful full moon in Sagittarius. Thank you so much for joining me. As I mentioned, I am away this week, so hence a slightly different format. And I'm realizing that I'm not going to be able to do daily readings. It's just not the right energy here. It's very different being in a big city. It's just a denser energy, and it feels like a grid. It feels like a different paradigm being in Sydney, which is interesting. It's fun to work with, but at the same time, it's just, I'm realizing I'm not going to be able to do the dailies this week, but this is my offering. So thank you so much for joining me. Please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Love to read your comments, and happy full moon.